So we're going to go over the angle sum theorem, and all that says is if you take the angle x, angle w, and angle y, and you sum those together, which means add, the sum of those angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. So that's the first thing we need to know. So here, on this example, notice I have two triangles. So I start off with this triangle. And so I have two of the angles. I need to find the third angle, angle 1. So angle 1 is going to be, so the measure of angle 1 is going to equal 180 minus 43 minus 74. So the whole thing is 180. Take away 43, take away 74, and I get 63. So I'd say angle 1 is 63. Now the second triangle is also going to add up to 180. Now there's a problem here. The problem is I know one angle, but I'm missing two angles. So you cannot find measure of angle 2 and measure of angle 3 if you're missing two pieces of information. However, we know that angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles. So if angle 1 is 63, then angle 2 is 63. So I could say the measure of angle 2 is 63 degrees. And I could say by the vertical angle theorem, if I wanted to, I'll just put vertical angles. And then to find the measure of angle 3, I would take 180 minus 79 minus 63. See what that is. And that's 38 degrees. So the question was, find the missing angle measures. I was missing angle 1. I found it, 63. It said find the missing angle measures. Measure of angle 2 is also 63. And then measure of angle 3 I just found was 38 degrees. Alright, now let's do B. Notice I have two triangles. I have this triangle. I know that those three angles add up to 180. However, I can't find those because I'm missing two pieces of information. So I cannot do anything with that triangle yet. This triangle, I know 70 degrees, I know 50 degrees, so I'm only missing one piece of information, measure of angle 2. So I would say measure of angle 2 will be 180 minus 70 minus 50, which is 60 degrees. So then I could put 60 degrees here. And then from there, angle 1 and 2 are vertical angles. So I would say measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2, which equals 60 degrees. And how do I know that? You don't have to list right now, but if someone asked you, you'd say because they're vertical angles. So now I know this is 60. And now I can find angle 3. Their measure of angle 3 would be 180 minus 65 minus 60. Which is 55 degrees. So then I would say 3 is 55 degrees. And then angle 4, these two angles are on a line, so we call those linear pairs. So I know that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 4 is also 180. So I'd say the measure of angle 4 is 180 minus 60, which is 120. Now we're not going to do this part today, but there's something called the exterior angles theorem that says if you want to find this angle on the exterior, you just add the two, they're called remote interior, together. So if you take 65 plus 155, you get 120. So another way to find this angle, which is called an exterior angle, is to add the two angles that are called remote interior. So I take 65 plus 55 and get 120. Or I could also recognize that these two angles are linear pairs. So 60 plus what is 180? 120. Alright, now finally, the third angle theorem, all that pretty much says is that if this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle, well then that means that the third angle must also be congruent. So if you can prove that two of the angles are congruent, then that means the third angle must be congruent. So if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of a second triangle, then that third angle you don't know must also be congruent. So what that's saying, like say you knew this was 30 degrees and you knew this was 30 degrees. And then you knew this was 50 and that was 50. Well then, that means that this must equal this. So that'd be what, 100 degrees left? So that would mean that this has to equal the same also.